a game that allows both sides to dream a little bit longer, to aim for the ultimate glory of lifting the 2023 Rugby World Cup. Hi, everybody. My name is David Midgley, and with chills down my spine, goosebumps, we bring you this Rugby World Cup quarterfinal. We've had 3 of them so far, and both sides will want to break perhaps hearts of either the home side or the visitors from the tip of Africa's continent. Alongside me, Tsepo and Otu Ozmaster Simon. Tsepo, very good evening to you and happy to have you with us once again.
Hello, Coach Dave. Really good to be here on an auspicious occasion, a game against the hosts. It really doesn't get better than this, and we've been served up some great quarterfinals so far. So buckle your seatbelts.
Otu, you're feeling nervous, feeling cautious, or feeling a little bit optimistic?
I have had enough wine to be less nervous, but I have already chewed my nails a little bit with the England-Fiji game. That was a thriller. Right, so we've missed a little bit of our build-up. So I'm just going to go through the Springboks, or do you want to leave me for the French team and one of you go through the Springboks?
I'm happy to let you run through the box.
All right. Number 1 to 15, Steven Kitshoff, Konge Mbonambi, Frans Malherbe, Eben Etzebeth, Franco Mostert, Siya Kolisi, the captain, Peter Steph Toy at number 7, Dwayne Vermeulen, the 8, the most experienced 8 that we've ever fielded. Am I right? In terms of caps?
Certainly.
Number 9, Kobus Reinach. Number 10, Mani Libbel. Number 11, Cheslin Colby. Number 12, Damien Dalende. Number 13, Jesse Kriel. Number 14, Kurtley Arendse. And number 15, Damian Willemse. Those are the green jerseys that we pin our hopes on.
Absolutely. Tsepo, what do you make of that Springbok side?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Watch the pre-match press conference with Sia and Jacques. And the way he put it with that back line with Mani Libbok at fly half is that this is the fly half that gets us results. All we see is out of the so many games we've played, we've only lost 1 with him there at starting fly half. So very excited, very chilled, especially seeing that 5-3 split on the bench. Tons of experience there. And as Otu said, the amount of caps in the Springbok side, I feel like they'll be able to adapt. I'm very happy with this team.
Right, and it's a side that has preferred Kobus Reinach this evening over that of the usual starting man, Faf de Klerk. A bit of an interesting selection there, but South Africans keeping their cards very tightly to their chest, and tears on the face of Damien Willemse. He knows how huge this game is and how it's going to be one that will either cement these South Africans or it will find them short. Mama Joy Chauke is there to support the South Africans, and it's one that has been 2 weeks in the waiting for the Springboks. It's one that will allow South African fans to really have built up to nicely. Will it be French flair or Springbok strength? In the French side, Sirobai, Piazzo, Mavaka, Winnie Antonio are your front 3. Cameron Wilkie and Thibaut Flamand, having previously captained at some other juncture in time, are your lock pairing. Anthony Jalon, Charles Olivon, and Gregory Aldrit are the closing front 3. Antoine Dupont, a man who was spoken about quite a lot in the press this week, and there was a chance that he may not have actually started this game at one point in time, but he continues. And it's a surprise that he does, but he remains the captain. Mathieu Jalibert is his partner in the halfback. Louis Biarret and Damien Panot, Damien Panot's already got 6 tries in this year's instance of Rugby World Cup. Gail Fiku is partnered at inside centre by Jonathan Danty, and we've got a whole whack of substitutes that we'll discuss as we head into this game. 880 caps, the second most capped Springbok side ever in Rugby World Cup history. The previous highest, 891, going out against Samoa in 2015. Surprise also that South Africa not going with Andre Pollard on the bench, but perhaps feeling like he will do the business for them on the back end. Don't forget, you can like and subscribe to our broadcast, and then you'll know when we go live once again to bring you Springbok Rugby. South Africa's last 5 results, 4 out of 5. The only blip coming against Ireland as they trounced Tonga last time out, 49 points to 18. France, 5 out of 5 in their last 5 encounters, obviously. And they will want to continue that. It was heartbreak for the Irish as Southern Hemisphere strength showed through both in the Argentina game and most importantly in that France game. South Africa in their traditional green and gold, playing right to left. Moni Lubbock will kick us off. Surprisingly, the green and gold of South Africa not clashing with the blue of France, but clashing with the blue of Scotland. We'll have to bring that up perhaps in another episode of Crash Ball. If you want to support us, patreon.com/OneWorldSR. Any last thoughts before we get underway, gentlemen?
This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be mistakes that define this match. The team that makes the least mistakes at the least critical moments, that's going to be the team that wins this. Chepo, what do you think?
TT.
I'm just buckling my seatbelt for what I expect to be a great finish to the weekend. Win or lose. We're going to see good rugby, guys. We're going to see good rugby.
Absolutely.
So
kickoff underway, collected outside the French 22. Dupont with a left boot thumps it away downfield. Collected nicely by the Springboks. Now they have a chance to counter-attack. Curtly Orense just over the halfway line, ably supported by his front rowers. Reinach into Eben Etzebeth, who becomes the tied 4th highest Springbok ever, to Lubbock, who thumps this high, hanging kick for Cheslin Colby on the left wing. Who will collect it? It'll be a Frenchman, that of Damien Penaud. He'll want to add to his try tally this evening. Near side of the park between 10 and 22. Into the hands of the French as they go through with Olivon. He's brought down in midfield. Kicked over the top into the vacant space behind the South Africans. Goodness me, that was a great bit of work there by Jalibert to pick it up, but he was brought down by an enterprising Damien Willemse. Kick downfield right into the corner. The Springboks had to fight for it, and I think that there's a question of whether or not it was tapped back or tapped forward. It was scramble there as Louis Biel-Biarré had to fight with Curtly Orense. Bit of stress for the Springboks early on.
Yeah, this is a frantic start by the French, managing to get into the faces of the Springboks. Let's see what the referees have to say here. They're going to check something. Curtly Orense is...
man behind the TV.
Yeah, Curtly Orense just knocked that one forward for me. He didn't have control at all unless you're allowed to score a try with your inner thigh.
Outside of the 10-meter line, Olivon picks up. France now trapping their way upfield. Good support by Mauvaka. Referee not Brendan Pickrell. It's Ben O'Keefe, who took the Australia game during Rugby Championship for the Springboks and the Ireland game. So hopefully he gets some of his mistakes right. Ireland hammering away early at the door of the French here. A hold in the pass out wide to the right wing. Penaud, who had his kick charged down, tried to chip it over Cheslin Colby, rather, who managed to get up high, which is a great bit of work by the French to really put the South Africans under pressure. And I think that's what they're trying to do. A bit of shock and awe campaign early here. It was actually Damien Willemse who chased that one down. Almost a reminder of Mount Smart in New Zealand earlier this year, where the South Africans were blown out of the water in the first half hour of the game. Right. Good opportunity now for Mauvaka to throw. He goes, finds his man. He finds Woki in the midfield, in the middle of the lineout. Big maul here by the French. They keep going. They're putting pressure on the South African try line. Can they find a way through? Brought down 2 meters short. Great tackle there by Cheslin Colby. Penalty advantage for the French. Woki, 2 meters out. And again, they go wide, and the French are over. Bailly has a try in the corner. The French number 1 puts his name on the scoreboard, and the South Africans have been blown out the water 5-0 inside 5 minutes.
No, that's excellent play by the French. Just keeping the pressure on, going through the phases. Good, solid rugby, good, solid test rugby. So well done to the French, and they've got their first try.
Fantastic.
Cyril
The French.
Bye.
Yes, the South Africans had no answers. There was nobody at home for the Springboks to try and defend that. Cheslin Kolbe left on his own to try and get through there. Flamand hands it off, and it's a quick offload from Penaud to the number 1. Bailly uncontested in the corner, and Ben O'Keefe raises his hand aloft, and the French at home are jubilant.
David, you can pause your feed maybe by 3 or 4, half a second, maybe 10 seconds, and then I think the two of us will be up to speed. Right, so Sam Galada says, I wondered where you guys were scrolling down YouTube looking for the radio station. Evening, guys, behind my load-shedding country. Make us proud, boys, please. Thank you, Sam. And Linux Leah has joined us on YouTube. Wow, we haven't seen you in a while. Yes, I've been actually doing commentary for Gorilla UK and now have my own German language cricket podcast commentary service at the moment. Covers the World Cup. Well done, Linux Leah. Love to see you with us.
Thomas Ramos steps up and he slotted it. Beautiful work there by the number 15. France leads 7-0. Right, kickoff nearly underway once again. Here we go. Lebok, high hanging outside the 22, trying to give an opportunity to his men, but Flamand is the one who collects it. Jalibert trying to get away from the South Africans. Support from Jalange. Eventually, the centipede begins. Back to Jalibert, thumped away. Downfield. Collected by Cheslin Kolbe. He's got Willemse on his outside. He goes over halfway. Brought down by the French pair in the engine room of the scrum. Good bit of work there by South Africa trying to break through. And the ball's been stolen. Away France go. Right in the middle of the field. South Africa already chasing the game. Mavaka brought down just outside the 22. A throw out wide. South Africa caught with their pants unaware of where they should be. This is domination by the French. Again, Jalibert. Looking for Aldrit. He finds him there. Dupont. A ball out into the midfield for Fiku. Dante in support. He goes to the blind side. Is there enough defense? And a great bit of defensive work there by Eben Etzebeth. Looks like it's an error by the French. South Africa out of trouble here as they're on their own 5-meter line. Looking to go with pick and drive through truck and trailer type stuff with Dwayne Vermeulen. Throwing men in at the breakdown. Box kick being set up here by Reinach. Punts it away downfield. Not into touch, or is it into touch? Yes, it is into touch. That was a stressful moment there. Great bit of work there by Eben Etzebeth to throw his body at that one. Ties with Tendai the Beast Mtawira with his cap record, 117 today.
Nervous moments for the Springboks there. Almost letting the French in. This is typical test match rugby. Let's see if the Springboks can recover.
Mavaka finds Woki in midfield. Referee says that's straight. No problem. No real consistent defense from the Springboks. 6s and 7s. The pick and go. And now an opportunity for Dwayne Vermeulen to steal it away. He has. Great bit of work there from the number 8.
Yes.
This one's thumped upfield. Eben Etzebeth tries to get his hand on it, not able to get it through. South Africa with the Kurtley Orense steal right in the corner. Kurtley Orense over 7 minutes 48, and the scores are nigh on level.
Yes. That's a 13th try for Kurtley Orense in his 13th test. So he's keeping up with the Joneses there in terms of his test appearances. That is wonderful. Love it. Tsepo, what did you think about that?
Action, baby, action. Both sides of the park. This is what we came for. It's scrappy. It doesn't look very clean, but it's taking the opportunity when it comes. Curtly Arendse does it again. He's a try-scoring machine, and we're back in this game. France did very well at the beginning to really pin us back. Mad respect for them. And yeah, here's some more action. To more of this. I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is the thing. If you can just keep within touching distance in a test match like this, just strike back. Now let's see where Manie Libbok's kicking boots are. Are they on his feet, or are they somewhere in a hotel dry cleaning room, or maybe somewhere back at the hotel that he stayed in before he left for France? This guy can kick. Don't get me wrong.
Stressful stuff. Deep breaths before lining this one up. 13 minutes on the clock. He's got 10 seconds.
Obviously nervous.
Owen Farrell.
Just put it in, Manie. Just put it in.
Thumps
it. Yes!
Pulled it back enough. Beautiful there.
He's got it.
Stressful moment here by the Springboks, and it's chicken flesh in the studio. I can tell you. Wow, it was a great bit of work there by Curtly Arendse to be aware at just the right moment to pounce on a loose ball. Boy, oh boy. Dupont says the referee, well, he looks at the referee like, hey, shouldn't that have been something else? Right. Jalibert kicks off once again for the French into the hands of Eben Etzebeth. Good bit of work there to remain confident in the take. Reinach looking for Peter Steff. He goes with Franco Mostert. Peter Steff and Malherbe in support. Reinach out to look. Thumps this downfield to the near side touchline. Will it go out? It will. France, will they look to keep it alive? They thought for a moment about it, but not able to do so. 7-7, 10 minutes, 16 seconds on the clock. Don't forget to comment along as you join us for this beautiful game of rugby. 7 points each. South Africa lost the toss and decided that they would, well, they had a dictating from the French that they would have to.
Malvaka with the throw. Dupont to Jalibert into the hands of Antonio in the middle of the park, just inside the Springbok half. To the near side they come. The French have possession. The Springboks piling in there. Dupont with the kick. It's going to come down on the near side of the park, just outside the 22, and it's back into French hands. Malvaka has it. He's rumbling forward, stepping and evading. Dupont sends it to the middle of the park. A cross kick by the French, and the referee says no, it's going to be a knock-on scrum to the Springboks, who will have possession just inside their own 22, inside their just in the middle of the park. This is amazing defense by Chesil and Colby, just harassing the number 2 of the French, Malvaka, just enough to get him to get rid of it.
Good bit of awareness there by Cobus Reinach to step up to the plate when we needed it the most, and perhaps that's why the Springboks have gone with him ahead of Faf de Klerk. A big scrum here. The South Africans defending it, well, defending their own try line, but they have the feed.
Right, so it's a scrum inside the 22 of the Springboks, 15 meters from the near side touchline. French playing from left to right on our screens. Cobus Reinach with the throw. Scrum is set, immediately goes down, and the referee says both sides went down. They will reset the scrum. This is going to be a big one as well for the Springboks and the French to try and get ascendancy in the set pieces here early in the match. 12 minutes gone, 7 points apiece in the Stade de France. The home team, the New Zealand referee, lots of pressure all around. Everywhere you look, the stands look very dark, as most of the French crowd have the dark blue on. Don't see a lot of green. Let's see. So, Cobus Reinach, and a solid scrum by the Springboks. They're trying to wait for the advantage, but no, says the referee, use it. It goes out to De Lende. into the hands of Damian Willems, who kicks it downfield with the right boot to the far side of the field. The ball is going to come down about on the 10-meter line of the French, where the line out will be set. So let's see what the Springboks can do from here. Are they going to contest the line out? Are they going to try and see what the French can do on attack and see if they can get their smothering defense going? Malvaka steps up to the line, near side of the park, far side of the park as we look at it.
Halfway.
He throws to the number 4 jumper. Springboks trying to rumble it over the far side touchline, saved by Malvaka. And they have to go down for a ruck to the French. Dupont is there. And he swings now into the 15-meter line to the near side of the field. The Springboks trying to swarm and dominate the collisions. And there's a penalty to the French. That's a penalty to the French for, I would assume, going off their feet. Kitshoff is in frame here. In and the side is the call.
I don't think that lineout was collected correctly, because it looked like as they opted to take the 3 points tee, that lineout looked a little bit suspect in terms of the direction. It may have been straight down the middle, but the French encroaching a little bit, what looks like on that 0.5 meter gap either side of the line of throw.
Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, David, I'm not 100% certain on line out rules, because sometimes throws that look not straight to me are all right. Sometimes it's because we're not competing, I understand, but other times there's maybe something that I'm missing. So I'm not really sure what goes on here with lineouts and the proper calls, but I am very animated about them. But 3 points at this point, so far into the half, it's quite a shot. This
Thomas Ramos kicks the goal, and it's not over the crossbar. Damian Willems sends it to the far side touchline. The French have possession. Dupont sends it to the outside, to the far side touchline. They set the ruck just outside the 22. Quick kick over the top by Dupont. The Springboks are chasing this. Kobus Ranach has got it in his own goal area. They've got enough space to run it out. Mani Libok is now over his own 5-meter line. He's almost to the 22. He's got support in the middle of the park. Peter Stef du Toit is there. Kobus Ranach is going to swing it out to another pot of forwards. Frans Malherbe with that familiar band around his head. And then the French are penalized. The referee says they were off their feet. They were going off their feet, says Ben O'Keefe. So it will be a Springbok penalty right in the middle of the park. And that was very enterprising play by the Springboks. The French were not there. They had a very lazy run-up in response to that penalty kick, and the Springboks just making the most of it. So a lot of play off the feet there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He may as well have been Richie McCaw there. He's a helicopter pilot coming in from
helicopter
the side.
Pilot. So Bongi Mbonambi on the far side of the field is throwing into the line out now. Peter Stef du Toit has it. Dwayne Vermeulen to Kobus Ranach. To Mani Libok. Out to Willie Leroux, it looks like. It's Cheslin Colby into the line. Jesse Kriel takes it up now. Fronting up. To the ground they go. Springboks, 15 meters from the near side touchline. Mani Libok with a cross kick. High up into the air. It's going to come out just outside the 22 of the Springboks. Damian Dalende over the 22, over the 5-meter line. He's got support. Who's there? Who's got the ball? It's Kobus Ranach. And then that is Dwayne Vermeulen. No, it's Damian Dalende over the line for the Springboks on the far side of the field. 15 meters from the far side touchline. That is awesome play by the Springboks. Take that. Take
magic. Absolute magic from the Springboks. Damian Dalende, that's exactly why they've picked him ahead of Andreas Hazen, breaking through the French defense and speeding away. He was brought down 5 meters short. Good work by the Springboks there to support him as well. It went a little bit wayward there. Jesse Creel, as you said, standing up in the tackle. Good support again as well by Siya Kolisi. All started there by that cross kick from Moni Libok. It's one that the South Africans, you'll note, will want to maybe eat their words if they're not fans of Moni Libok, because that's what creates tries. It's kicks like that, and it's the awareness. Willems, Damien Delende dominating.
That's the awareness. That's the awareness of Moni Libok. And he's going to line up the kick. He's going to line up the kick, the conversion kick. The Springboks have 12 points. The French has 7. It's coming up to 19 minutes played. And Moni Libok with the right foot is going to slot this one through just outside the 22, just to the near side of the field of the 15-meter line. And Moni sends it wide to the right-hand side.
Yeah, not even close there for
That's okay. That's okay.
Goal kicker. T, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So, any of you guys familiar with Pep Guardiola, English Premier League manager? Read his autobiography. And the one thing he said about the Premier League when he came in, because it was just after he came from Bayern Munich, always look out for the second ball. Now, what that means is there's going to be thumps that's going to come down, and you need to be ready for that. And sharks around that kick. Peter Steph Toy, Damian Delende, and there was someone else. But yes, wow, I love
Klein
that.
Vermeulen takes it down inside the 22 in the middle of the park. Pass back to Moni Libok, who sends it high up into the sky. It's going to come down just outside the 22 of the Springboks. Good attendance at the ruck there, forcing the French to commit players there. They're going to pass it in, and there's some number 4 of the French, that is Wiki, who takes it up now. And the Springboks, I think, have got possession. No, it's still in the possession of the French, with a lot of harassments by the Springboks. Down the far side they go, up to the 22 now. The French go inside to the midfield, still outside the Springbok 22. Lots of Springbok attacking defensive play. The French eventually make it up to the 22. They going now to the near side of the park, into the Springbok 22 they go. Dupont has got the ball, and he sends it back after setting the ruck. Now up to the 5-meter line they go, pick and go. The referee says it's okay. The Springboks can contest, and Siya Kolisi, I think, has got this ball back for the Springboks. No, the Springboks have lost the ball once again. So pick and go once again by the French. They are 12 meters in from the near side touchline, about 10 meters from the Springbok try line. The Springboks trying to win possession back, and the French have got the penalty. They take a quick tap with Dupont, and it's the number 2, Mavaka, who goes over the line. And that is the first 20 minutes. And I'm going to hand over to David Midgley and Chepo Taela for the next 20. Thank you so much.
Stressful stuff, Tsepo, because the South Africans were caught unawares. They weren't sharp to what Dupont was thinking. It's normally the Kobus Ranach who catches teams unaware. We saw that against Tonga, but in this instance, French flair.
High octane rugby. That is what we're watching here. High octane rugby. It is quick. It is fast. This is in your face. You're getting to 10 phases in like 2 minutes. People are just getting quick ball here. And sometimes it works, like we're seeing now with this try, but sometimes it can cost the French. And they just need to make sure that they take their opportunities, because that's how it is here in the knockout stages. And they did well to do that. Now need to take an opportunity with the kick here that's on the sideline to take the lead. It's 12-12 here. So edge of my seat.
Stressful stuff as Tomo Ramo steps up to take this one.
Oh, charge down! Oh, charge down. Is that a penalty?
I think we're just going to have to see if referee Ben O'Keefe is happy with it or not. I don't know if he is. 23 minutes gone. Cheslin Colby charging it down. Now, that's not the norm in rugby. It's very rare that somebody does charge it down, but it'll be a kickoff. So, charge down means that it is an incomplete conversion, and South Africa will have the kickoff again. Teed, would you like play-by-play?
Sure thing. Springboks kick
Go
it
for it.
off into the French half, just in front of their 22. Number 7 picks it up. A good ruck formed here for the French. Tons of bodies around it. South Africa now just watching a centipede form. Slow ball. Looks like they're taking their time to make a decision. Everybody setting up. You're going to need to take some time to breathe after high-octane rugby, as I believe it's Dupont kicks it into the corner closest to us. It is Amani Liebok who picks it up. A step, a pass to the sideline, where Jesse Kriel picks it up, sets it up for Kobus Reinach, hoys it to the middle. Eben Etzebeth passes it down the line. Eventually a ruck forms on the halfway line in the middle. Kobus Reinach picks it up for another phase. Mani Liebok, a high ball to the far side of the field. And Ramos looks like he picked it up. It went backwards from Springbok hand. He picks it up, kicks it down the line. It's Damien Willemse who picks it up far side of the field on the sideline, hangs it high, hangs it into touch, and his hands are up. Big question marks here, David.
Yeah, a bit of drama here because it's been 2 instances where the South Africans have prevented the French kicking game. There's clearly an idea here that they want to kick over the top of that defensive line to perhaps disrupt things, and it's been effective in a couple of instances, but perhaps the South Africans will be able to read the game and respond accordingly. French throw, far side of the park.
Take play by play. We'll change at every phase. Transition.
No worries. Mavaka looking for his jumper, goes right to the back, nearly a turnover for the Springboks. Walkie with ball in hand, stealing away are the French. Pick and go over the 10-meter line. Winnie Antonio. To the far side they go, in the hands of Eldrit. Great bit of work there by the French. Bonambi has to duck there as that one goes back into the hands of Antonio. Great bit of preventative measures there by the Springboks. They turn the ball over. Peter Steph du Toit looking for Jesse Kriel in midfield. There's a chip kick or grubber kick through for Cheslin Colby. Cheslin Colby, he's 3 minutes, not 2 minutes. Try! South Africa over the try line again. Yes! Drama and excellence from the Springboks. TT, that's another try to my name. Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Get in there, Springbok wings. High octane rugby. It comes at a cost. We also played as well. Eben Etzebeth, pressure on the ball carrier. And then Peter Steph du Toit. Everybody's awake. Everybody's sharp. Jesse Kriel with the perfect kick, the perfect bounce. And Cheslin Colby, I mean, a try scorer of note, does the rest. And to all the Jesse Kriel doubters, look at the boy. He has the feet. He has the feet. Jesse Kriel. Come on, Chana.
Absolute magic from the Springboks, and we'll try and keep our cool here. But as you can imagine, as Springbok fans in a Rugby World Cup quarterfinal, it's gonna be a difficult one. But Liebok will now have the opportunity to kick. Hopefully, he's aware of the shot clock and the oncoming man. T, take us through the kick.
Before that, I guarantee no chilledness. There's no chilled. I can't be chilled. This is Raggers, boy. Mani Liebok. I'm still waiting for the kick. We don't see the timer. Say,
Do you think
go ahead,
they're having a look upstairs? Do you think? Okay, I think maybe there was just a quick confirmation with Brendan Pickerel, their TMO, a fully New Zealand officiating team today.
No, rather safe than sorry. Rather safe than sorry. As the countdown timer goes down, we're at 20 seconds. Mani Liebok, he's at his mark. We see he is 50% hit rate out of 2. Coming from the near side. So he's going to want to curve this with his right boot. Place it fast. 6 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2. Kicks it. Hangs it on the right and slots it through the middle. Mani Liebok converts once again. And South Africa now have a 7-point lead. Here we go.
Yeah, it's been ebb and flow from ball number 1, if you would excuse the cricketing parlance. But great bit of work there. Joy Sunday saying, yay, go Bokke.
South Africa picks up the ball after a French kickoff. Eben Etzebeth lifted into the air. The centipede begins. Peter Steph du Toit at the back. Kobus Reinhardt just pulling it out. Going to get a box kick. He hangs it high, not very far forward, still within the South African half. French able to knock it back again, straight into the hands of Ramo, who gets it back to the French players, moving it down the line on the near side. The winger chips it, tries to get over the Springbok defense. A funny bounce, and Kobus Reinhardt in the right place, tackled as French number 4 comes in at the breakdown to get a quick penalty right at their try line. South Africa doing well just to keep a very sharp French side out. South African ruck, and it looks like it's Cheslin Colby who's going to pick it up as Kobus Reinhardt was tackled. They take another tackle here just to get their main scrum half into position. A good decision here. A moment of calm before we hit a little bit of a storm here. Half an hour in, pass back to Mani Liebok, and he boots this out to the touchline on the near side, still within the South African half. But South Africa survived, don't they, David?
Good bit of presence of mind there from Kobus Reinhardt. There was a funny bounce, as you mentioned, an awkward one to deal with, as Lida Steenberg says, yay, go Bokke. And Tracy Warwicker, go Bokke. Throw in now, the French with it. Dupont, he goes to midfield, looking for an option through this manic Springbok defense. He comes back this way towards us through Antonio. They set up a maul in the middle of the field, trying to do what South Africa did to the English in 2019 at that World Cup final. A grubber kick through. Cheslin Colby cleaning it up there on his try line. 2 meters, 1 meter. Oh no, he's been thrown into touch. Good bit of awareness there by the French to disrupt things for the Springboks, but it'll be a 5-meter throw to the French. Just that small bit of awareness from the magic man that is Antoine Dupont, disrupting South African defense.
It's all about finding those gaps behind the back line here. And we heard Jacques Nienaber talk about the French kicking game. It is intellectual. I didn't watch much of it, but seeing it now, I'm seeing what he's talking about as the French take a line out. They take it cleanly, uncontested, quickly pass back to the hooker. A dummy as he approaches the try line. High octane rugby once again. Ball comes out quickly. A push. Needs 3 Springboks to take himself down. Another push. And it's over the try line. Hands already up. But the ref is still looking if it's held up. Play goes on. And now the try is confirmed. France once again fight back here. And we're just seeing end-to-end rugby. Tries at each try line as the French come back in their home ground.
Cyril by a second try for the prop forward, and Tsepo's conceding tries. Well, I'm scoring them. We got to worry about that.
We're here at the same time, David. We're here at the same time.
Great bit of work there by the French. They are seeing the gaps in the South African defense, which is very rare. And another opportunity for Bayi to get over the whitewash. Stressful stuff. If you are any neutral fan, you are relishing the quality of rugby. 19 points to 17. The conversion still to come from Thomas Ramo as Bongye Manambi gets some treatment from the team doctors.
Yeah, this is exactly what, as you say, you'd want as a rugby neutral, as a fan of the sport. End-to-end stuff here. Home crowd still very much involved as Ramos takes the kick. It's just to the right of the post. A very simple kick to get over as he equalizes now. The score 19-19. And yeah, it's stressful stuff, man. This is the quarterfinal. This is what we mean when we say, hey, anything can happen in knockout rugby. It's literally about those moments. It's about creating as many moments as possible. And that's what this high-octane rugby gets you to do. You're literally just cramming in a whole bunch of opportunities into a small space of time. David, is it your ball by ball now?
It is indeed. Liebok kicks us off once again. 32 minutes, 38 seconds gone in this first half of quarterfinal number 4. Ramos thumps it away downfield. Springboks keeping it in touch. through the hands of Cheslin Colby. Over his own 22, he's got room to move here. Tries to goose and gets his way through. Brought down just before halfway. Kitsoff, into the contact he goes. Ranach to Libok. Cross kick again, looking to upset the French inside their own half. Will it be collected by Springbok? It will be. Peter Steph du Toit retaining possession for the Springboks. Kitsoff goes into the tackle in midfield. Ranach looking again. Tackled by DuPont, but South Africa retain it through Mani Libok, who kicks it through and looks like he may have knocked it on there. Thomas Ramos outside his own 22. Penalty advantage for France. DuPont immediately swarmed by two Springboks. There was a turnover there, but they were going to go back for the knock-on and the penalty advantage. Mani Libok could have found his way through. Tsepo, it's a game that even if you as a coach had your structured plays, it's almost as if who reacts quickest when the ball bobbles out a little bit.
Exactly that, David. Exactly that. It's not about implementing structures here. It's literally about taking every single opportunity and creating an opportunity whenever you can. And an opportunity that Mani Libok had here, if he had picked that up cleanly, could have got over the try line for a magical quarterfinal moment. You're correct about that. It's all about the moments, creating these types of moments. And that's probably why we have such a high-capped side here as the Springbok team. It really makes the difference at these periods.
T, take us through this scrum. 34 minutes, 28 seconds gone.
Just a quick hello to Warren Smith. We hear you in Malaysia. We see you, and we're happy to help you. Please enjoy your vessel offshore as we see the French scrum. They're locked in. They have an advantage once again. It looks like the scrum has been collapsed here. Stephen Kurtov is in picture. We'll probably see another replay of what happened to get a little bit better detail there. But yes,
yeah, he's suggesting that Winnie Antonio kind of dragged him down. So we'll have to see if that is the case. But referee Ben O'Keefe just suggesting that they should stay up for longer. Try and get their alignment correct. France will have the feed.
Carlos de Sousa saying a better team on paper, but on paper is not on the grass. On the park, it's still 19-19. So, yes, we're very excited about that. Antoine Dupont setting up for the feed. A scrum has been aborted once again. Ref not happy.
Yeah, just having a word with both front rows. Just urging them to make sure that the binding is correct so that when the call for set comes, there's no issues of somebody's knee dropping. Franco Mostert having a word with his prop forwards, urging them on.
Now, those are the types of...
right so far, 19 points all.
Yeah, and that's the type of energy you're going to need in the camp. You're going to need to be constantly encouraging one another to keep yourselves focused, because at any moment, a lapse in concentration could cost you your chance in the World Cup. So moments like that, Mostert being loud, very much appreciated as they now bind for the final scrum. And it has been collapsed. No penalty. Dupont comes up, passes it to the left-hand side. A big pass here to the wing, and it's immediately booted down the line. Far side touchline. South Africans pick it up in their 22, and Damien Willemse just puts it down.
Yeah, it's Mark called and immediately calling for the scrum. So the Springboks favoring their ability here to really dominate at scrum time. They know that they've got the ascendancy. We even saw the hooker for South Africa, Bongi Mbonambi, jogging over excitedly almost to show that the South Africans were certain of it. It's a free kick, and so it's going to be interesting here to see why it is that they've gone for the scrumming. Perhaps Dion Davids, South African forwards coach, seeing something in the ascendancy, and the doctors just whispering not so quietly, because you would imagine that the French fans are fanatical, and there's your alliteration for the commentators bingo.
Just thinking about the reason for taking the scrum, the word is physicality. Just think of that island game that we had, the just how hard those hits were. That sort
Absolutely.
of like pays off in some time, and we have the bomb squad for
Feed
this.
from
So,
Cobus
go ahead.
Reinach. And the penalty advantage for the Springboks. Chip over the top, and Jesse Krill loses his footing on the 10-meter line, and they'll go back for the penalty advantage. A huge scrum by the Springboks, and it is the double try scorer, Cyril Bailly, who will want to rectify that, because the South Africans will be saying, it doesn't matter if you score 2 tries, mate. If you can't scrum, we're going to find you, and we're going to turn the screw, as the South Africans opt to kick for touch. So, as you mentioned, that bomb squad, Dion Fourie, Oxenchair, Vincent Koch, Erge Snyman, Kwacha Smith, all waiting in the wings. This one doesn't go out on the full, and it's thumped away, as South Africa now retrieve it inside their own 22. Cobus Reinach kicks it away downfield, and that will eventually go out into touch, as we leer into the final 90 seconds of this first half.
Yeah, and just a quick peer back while we leer forward. It's been quite a half here. The scoreline reflects the nature of this game. Literally opportunities on both sides. Opportunities taken as well. Opportunities missed on the same amount. So exactly what we wanted in this quarterfinal, as a line out here for France. They throw it uncontested by the Springboks. It gets out of there quickly, move down the line. As a big tackle, a tipping tackle, keeps France in the same region that they took the line out on the far side of the field. There's a penalty advantage for Steven Kitshoff not releasing. No look pass, as France still have the ball in hand, taking their advantage. And a pass, a chicken wing pass for an offload, but it was a far one that didn't reach its target. Advantage will be taken for Steven Kitshoff's earlier offense, which give France an opportunity to go into the half with the lead.
Yeah, it's an opportunity that they'll perhaps want to take the 3 points for. Just seeing the replay there, as Piato Mauvaca, the French hooker, getting some treatment from the medical staff. But both sides, it's been scrappy rugby, been inconsistent in terms of setup in the way that they've gone about their attacking, and they'll want to rectify that in the second half. It's such a tight game, it could be anybody's. It's just a brief intermission here as some of the players get some treatment, and Ben O'Keefe having a word with Sia Kolisi, and they're going to go upstairs there.
Now, 2 high quality teams literally just finding the gaps in each other's defense, and doing well to actually take over there, and being sent upstairs. The call for Steven Kitshoff, is that being sent upstairs?
Wow, I wonder, because the camera is now on Eben Etzebeth, and perhaps it's a bit of the tackle, head-to-head contact possibly between Eben Etzebeth. Yes, it's that, and Winnie Antonio, my correction, is the man on the ground, and we know head-to-head is red, and that's the last thing the Springboks would want. Is there any mitigation? The Springboks yet to receive a card of any kind in this World Cup so far. There was a slight direction change by Winnie Antonio, but we wonder if referee's assistant behind the television match official, Winnie Antonio, Brennan Pickrell is the man behind the TV, so we'll have to wait and see what the decision is. Is there mitigation for South Africa's forward, as he gets a bit of a concussion test?
There was a change in direction, as you say, but it looked like it was going away from Eben Etzebeth. So if Eben Etzebeth coming square on, he went to his right. So
yellow for referral. Oh boy! So South Africa get their first card of the tournament. It's a yellow with the referral to the bunker, as Winnie Antonio and Eben Etzebeth kind of embrace briefly there. Take us to the halfway stage.
Eben Etzebeth just running off here for his reviewed yellow, taking a seat there in the sin bin as it's being reviewed. And yeah, we have a clock there, 9 minutes starting, has already started, as a Ramos with a kick He missed the last kick from a similar region here. It's about 10 meters inside the South African half, just on the not quite the sideline, like 2 lines inside. Should be okay as he tips toes and boots it. It's got the right curve and it's found the middle. And France go into halftime with the lead here, 22 to 19 at halftime. South Africa a man down, losing Eben Etzebeth with a head-to-head just on the stroke of halftime. So Springboks will be a man down coming in to the second half.
Yeah, it's one that has been scrappy. It's one that's got a bittersweet taste, so to speak. I mean, being this close going into the halftime, you as a South African, you would have said, okay, happy enough. But to Simon, as you've joined us once again, that head-to-head contact is of concern.
Yeah, that's something that we've spoken about, and we're not going to spend too much time on that now. The decision has been made. There's not much we can do about it now. But that's the way the rules are at the moment. And that will be our first yellow card of this competition. So a lot to be proud of for this team, that they stayed within those weird rules. This is going to be a very tough second half. I'm very happy with the way the Springboks have played so far. They're in the contest. They've got a man down now for 10 minutes in the second half, but I think that will just gel everybody, and that will just, it will just. I won't want to face this South African team, and as I said, I don't want to coach them, coach against them either, because this is going to be hell now for the French the next 10 minutes. So let's see.
Absolutely.
It's
So
looking good so far.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be with you right after the halftime break, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you for all the comments. Carlos de Souza, the wind will change. Boko, we believe in you. Yes, indeed. Everybody else who's been commenting, we're going to go silent here during the halftime break. Thank you so much for all the support. Just let your friends know, let everybody know that they can listen to us. If they can't watch the game, they can listen to us at least. And if you're watching the game and you have had enough of the usual suspects, you can just pause the game for about 30, 40 seconds if you're able to, and then you can listen to our alternative commentary. And the best way you can support us is what you're doing right now. Thank you so much for everybody listening. We will be back. We're going to go silent for the halftime break. We will be back in about 15, 20 minutes. Thank you so much. And Endless, the spokesperson, says it's going to be tough, gents. It is absolutely going to be tough. You're playing against the French in Paris. Can our coach do 3 changes? Faf, Pollard, Leroux, says Sam Galada. So yes, Faf, Pollard and Leroux are on the bench. So don't worry, Sam Galada, those guys are going to be on there. But I think our coach will prefer to bring them on about 10 or 12 minutes after the start of the second half, with 3 points behind. I think that's the ideal scenario to bring those 3 guys on. So good call there. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We're going to be back with you in about 15, 20 minutes. Thank you so much. Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Players are running back onto the field. And thank you so much for all the comments coming through. Alistair Adams, Mary-Lou Bartman, Joy Sardi, Sandy, and everybody else. Thank you so much for everybody coming through. Am I on silent?
No, you're okay. My feed is just still not sorted out.
Can you hear me now?
I'm with you too, if you can hear me.
I can hear everybody.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
All right, cool.
Change location for the sake of broadcast.
Right. So we're ready for the kickoff. The French are ready to kick off on our screens, right to left. And if I'm not mistaken, I just need to check. It's me and Chepo now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You go ahead. I'll mute.
All right. And it's taken down by the Springboks inside the 22. Kobus Ranach at control at the back. Mani Libok with a cross kick coming to the near side of the park. The Springboks playing left to right. The French have control of the ball inside the Springboks 22. Dupont sends it to the middle of the park. Good defense by the Springboks on the 10-meter line. Dupont once again back to Gelaberry, who gets the ball right back from his kick through. And it's a knock-on by the French. It'll be a scrum to the Springboks on the far side of the field, 20 meters from the far side touchline, just outside the Springboks 10-meter line. So a good gain, good net gain by the Springboks off that kickoff. This is going to be an epic encounter.
Yeah, just making sure that France aren't able to just get that go forward that they wanted, hit the gaps behind the line through grubbers, getting their bodies in the right place, as we're about to see a South African scrum. Kobus Ranach with the ball. Oh, yeah.
7 minutes, just under 8 minutes left of the Eben Etzebeth yellow card. So it's going to be a tough time for the Boks here to keep it away from the tight forwards if they can. But that's not the way the Boks play.
I wonder who's in the scrum for him. It could be Jesse Creel on the far side as Kobus Ranach feeds the ball. The scrum wheels around as the ball gets free. Sia Khaleesi picks it up. Cheslin Colby now boots it. It's high. It's going to the far side, or the near side to us. They came from the far side, near side of the field in the French half. Just in front of the 22. A big right boot here from Cheslin Colby into touch.
That was an excellent play by Cheslin Colby, sending the ball to the near side of the park. As you mentioned, it's about 2 meters inside the French 10-meter line. It'll be a French throw for Malvaka. And are you going to take the play-by-play for us?
I normally swap with David, but as we just see Antoine Dupont, a high kick in the South African half, right in the middle of the park. Damon Willemse picks it up. A counter-racking effort here from France that get the ball. They have it in their own half, just inside the halfway line. An offload here, another one as Ramos gets to the South African 22. Jesse Creel cleaned off as he tried to counter-rack here. So France still have the ball, moving it down the wing, doing well with South Africa, a man down. Take it inside now, almost an interception. A man out of the game as Dwayne Vermeulen holds back the French center. A big hit from Sia Khaleesi sending back Antoine Dupont, and a knock on by the French wing. A regulation catch dropped, and it's one of those where you're looking for the next pass before the ball's in your hand.
This is excellent defense by the Springboks. We talked about this in our podcast. The way the Springboks just force you back. It was an excellent passage of play by the French, going forward and then the rush defense, the pressure defense, the defense that actually is an attacking play, and the Springboks have possession back.
And we just see a French supporter, hands on head, hear no evil, as an opportunity missed here for France. And you said it best, Otto. A big hit here from Sia Kolisi, hard defense that just knocked Antoine Dupont off his stride, and the pass to the French wing just going down. It's those little bits of momentum, as now South Africa have the scrum. Otto, please take us away.
22 points to 19, 44 minutes on the clock. And it's Kobus Reinach who swings it to the near side to Mani Libbok, who kicks a grubber to the near side of the park. It's going to go over the line on the near side of the field on the French 10-meter line. Now the Springboks are in their stride. This is the kind of rugby they like to play. Let's get the ball into your hands, and then let's see what you do. Paf de Klerk is going to take over from Kobus Reinach. RG Snyman is on the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, please bring us up to speed there on the substitutions. Yeah, Pollard is on for Libbok. Here we go. Right. So it's a throw into the French on the near side of the park. And the French take a shot. Paf de Klerk tackles Mavaku. It's a good contested ruck here. And the French go along the short side, chip over the top by the French number 9, by Dupont. It's taken into custody by Damien Willems. The Springboks are there in attendance. The French seem to have possession. The referee O'Keefe says it's okay. And the French attack once more. They've got the ball on the 15-meter line off the near side of the park. They go to the middle of the park now with the rush defense, smothering the French back over the 22. The referee has his hands down. No problem. He says penalty to the Springboks in the middle of the park for hanging on. And that is an excellent defensive work by the Springboks. Very, very clinical discipline. Very, very clinical defense there by the Springboks. That is what I was talking about. Your comments, guys. That was just awesome.
Rugby. Great rugby all round. Just that run down the line, the chip and chase from, I think it was the French 8th man as the ball is kicked into touch. We see another substitution here. Yes,
coming on for Sia Kolisi.
Oh, yes. Just make sure that we have those fresh feet there. And Bomb Squad working also for the back line as well as it's working for the front line. You want people to be very, very sharp while they're on the field to keep that intensity up, to see if France can keep their intensity up for the whole game. We're just seeing Sia Kolisi go off. Bongi Mbonambi still has the ball. And a contested line out here from France. They hit it backwards. Bongi Mbonambi picks it up. He hits it backwards himself. And South Africa get possession of the ball. Still 3 minutes left on the yellow card as Steven Kitov takes a big crash ball here. Moves it up. Small gainer. And Peter Steph du Toit with a knock on. Oh, it looked like he wasn't expecting it. Faf de Klerk just giving it to Peter Steph as he was... it didn't even look like he saw it coming. Just hit his hand and went down.
Antoine Dupont talking to the referee. The referee says, that was just a knock on. 22 points to 19, the French lead. Yeah, Peter Steph didn't expect that at all. And the French lead South Africa by 22 to 19.
And France doing well just to knock South Africa off their stride with the line out there, contesting it, knocking it backwards. Bongi did well to get it back for South Africa. But in the end, it's just that loss in momentum at the beginning of the movement that just makes the rest of the movements a lot harder as we see a scrum set up and Eben Etzebeth do his stretching. Got to stay limber. You're going to be on soon, son.
2 minutes left of the Etzebeth yellow card. Take us away, Mr. Taylor.
Antoine Dupont feeds the French scrum. It's a clean one. It's tight. They're holding themselves, holding it against the South African scrum. As a big step here breaks the line of the South Africans. France, a free run through the middle here. Antoine Dupont picks it up, keeps the ball moving, moves down the line, far side of the field. Ramos tries to chip and chase, keeps the ball, and it doesn't look like he's releasing. South African advantage as a number 16 picks it up. It's Dion Fourie, and Faf de Klerk passes it to, it shouldn't be Mani Liebach, it's probably Damon Willemse, who hangs it high, not into touch in the French half as they choose to run it. Number 10 gets past the first defender and takes the tackle. A quick run here from the number 6 to get a little bit of extra yardage gained here for France in their second phase. Clock ticks as Eben Etzebeth looks to warm up. France move it down the line. An offload, a massive offload here from the number 2, the hooker of France, to keep that ball out of touch. France have the possession, moving it down the line, looking to go over the top through the middle. A late pass here to the number 6 of France. Peter Steff with a counter ruck. It's knocked on by someone. South Africa have advantage. Ref put his hand up and then put it down, so we don't know if there's a call. There isn't one, as Faf de Klerk now doesn't take it. It's Andre Pollard who boots this one out. Still within the South African half, in front of the 22, and a shake of the head here as a heart in throat moment as a French resurgence in this phase of play.
Now the French are throwing all their flair at the South African defense, but the South African defense seeming to hold up for now. This is going to be a reprieve for the Springboks as Eben Etzebeth is back on the field, but the French is trying. They're trying to keep the ball away from the forward pack because they know what happens when they try to engage with the Springbok forward pack. So they're trying to keep the ball in the air and keep the ball moving from side to side. They're not doing a great job of it at the moment. The Springboks are managing to shut all those moves down, but there's still about 30 minutes to go in the match. The French lead by 22 points to 19. Sia Kolisi is on the bench. He's been replaced. And pensive-looking Rassie Erasmus and a very tense-looking Jock Nienaber. That's not a good sign for South Africa. So let's see what the players can do here to arrest the tension of those coaches. Fabien Galtier on the French coaching bench also looking very tense. This is not a done deal yet. This is 30 minutes.
French substitution.
30 minutes. Let's go, yeah.
Wardi coming on for Bailly. Bailly, after the brace, being replaced by Flamand, is being replaced by Taufi Fenua.
And,
so front row replacements and front 5 replacements. The ball set up here by France on the near side of the park. They're pushing towards the Springbok 22, but Eben Etzebeth and his mates has something to say about that. Dupont being forced to pass it into the midfield. Good defense once again by the Springboks. Bongi Mbonambi thwarting that attack. Good low tackles. The ball's squirting forward, and the referee has his arm out for a scrum advantage to the French. They make it over the 22 finally. Now, what will Dupont do? He's got a scrum advantage. He needs to make this count. The French go for the crash ball over the 22. They're still behind the advantage line as the Springbok rush defense go forward. And once again, now they almost make it over the advantage line. They're just about 2 meters inside of the 22 of the Springboks on the far side of the park. The French with possession, and they pick and go. Good scrambling over the ball. The Springboks trying to spoil the possession, and they do so, but the referee says no, that is a knock-on by the Springboks, and he will give the scrum to the French about 20 meters from the far side touchline inside the 22 of the Springboks. 50 minutes gone. 22 points to France, 19 points to South Africa.
Yeah, just some hands here from the Springbok pack, as you said. Just trying to disrupt the... Yes, go ahead, David. Take away the subs.
Sorry, Kwagga Smith, Oxenchair, and Willie Leroux on the park.
Very, very, very
so
nice. Fresh legs here.
Yet on the bench, off the bench for the Springboks. Carry on.
And it's looking like Steven Ketzoff is going to stay on the field. And it was him who had the knock on going for the ball for counteract just to get the turnover, but just ripped it out of Antoine Dupont's hands. And but it came out of his fingers last. So knock on here. Scrum time for South Africa. As we see, yes, Vincent Koch come off. Damon Villensa also off. And I didn't see the third person for the trio that you mentioned.
Kitsoff, Vermeulen, and Willemse coming off.
Vermeulen, thank you very much. Kwacha Smith. This guy used to play 7th rugby. Look at him now. Jeepers creepers. Okay, yes, France also some substitutes here. David, will you be able to help us with that?
Sorry, I was changing our spreadsheet there.
No worries.
Don't change the spreadsheet, damn it, David. Then we can't use it for the next game. So
I'm updating. I always use.
We've got Judy, a huge Chepo fan there. So there you go, Mr. Taylor.
Shout out, Judy. Good to see you.
There we go. And then Carlos de Souza saying it's time. Say, come, Boca, one try, one conversion. Let's go, Mr. Mitchell. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
No, it's still the two of you.
Yeah, we did well to hold France to not scoring here when we had 14 men on the park. Just need to make sure that we hold up this defense and choose the right time to attack. And I believe it's you on play-by-play now, Otto.
Yeah, bro. So 51 minutes played. Faf de Klerk is on the field. He's going to be watching as Dupont feeds the scrum, and the referee is not happy with the scrum. It's 22 points to France, 19 points to South Africa in the Stade de France in Saint-Denis, in the northern suburbs of Paris. No respect, you froggies. Come on, Bokke. Let's go. Let's see what the Springboks can do in this scrum. Faf de Klerk is in attendance there, standing on the near side of our pictures. Dupont now, all of a sudden, with a scrum cap, he feeds the scrum now. And he's going to try, and he's already got the penalty advantage, has the French scrum. He's going to go to the far side. There's a move by Gelleberry, and well wrapped up there by the Springbok defenders. They're behind the advantage line, trying to swing the ball around the French, but they do still have the advantage, I assume. And still being wrapped up behind the advantage line. Oxenchair going in for the ball, and now the referee has no choice but to bring them back for the scrum penalty. And that was excellent defensive play once again by the Springboks. It's what you do when you don't have the ball that matters in these type of games. It could have been easily an advantage try by the French, but the Springboks just managing to shut everything down and everything happening. That this penalty is on the 15-meter line on the far side of the field, about 5 meters inside the Springbok 22, and the play ended up close to the Springbok 10-meter line. So that just tells you the story of how the Springboks have been defending, and now the French will opt for another shot at goal. And we'll see a replay here of the scrum. We see the French have their hands and their knees on the ground. I'll have to watch a replay of the game. Jalabert trying to step inside, and then I don't know why the actual. Yeah, let's see. Do you have any more information there? What happened there with the penalty? Why did that happen?
It was a scrum penalty, Otto. We conceded a scrum penalty. And I wanted to mention France did very, very well to get that penalty, in a great place to get it. A chance to take a 6-point lead now as Ramos lines his kick up, and he slots it very, very easily. France now sits on 25 points to 19. 6-point lead now. It's going to take a conversion for South Africa to get back into this game. So France in the driving seat, 13 minutes after half time. A big boot here, a kickoff from South Africa deep into the French half, right in front of their try line and their goal post. They run it up a little bit to their left, a bit towards us, as they set up the centipede for a box kick. Antoine Dupont fishing it out with his left boot, setting up on the far side of the ruck, boots it up with his left into touch on the near side of the field. South Africa take it back, looking to take it quickly, and France do well to prevent that from happening. South Africa will get the line out here. They take it relatively quickly, not allowing France to set up, and it's a dirty pass to Faf de Klerk, literally at his feet. He does well to pick it up, go over the top. Doesn't look like South Africa are connecting as Jesse Creel takes a big crash ball. He has assistance here from Peter Steph du Toit. Villiers Leroux down the line to Cheslin Colby, shows it to the boot, but keeps it in play as well, as France harassing the ruck here for South Africa. Peter Steph du Toit picks it up, has a little bit of support here from the front line. Archie Snyman does a very good clean out. Andre Pollard hangs it high. Arendse coming on the inside, and he has it. He picks it up just in front of the French post. Eben Etzebeth comes for the pick and run. French players standing right in front of Eben Etzebeth. Villiers Leroux picks it up at the number 10 spot. Cleaned out here by the winger. Arendse Faf with a quick ball to Peter Steph du Toit, carries it into a tackle, sets it up beautifully here for Faf. The things are flowing as a big hit here comes to number 20. Kwagga Smith keeps the ball. He is vicious. He is Vus. And France get their hands there, looking for the penalty. And it looks like it goes to, yes, it goes to France. Not releasing. And Kwagga Smith just going a little bit too far.
That was insane. That was just amazing by the Springboks and the French. This is quarterfinal rugby in the World Cup. I think the Springboks are edging this. They just need to keep this up. The French are obviously tiring. They've had enough now. So let's see what the Springboks can do in the next few minutes. This is.
I'm not going to lie to you. If I were a French supporter in the start of France, I'd be losing my mind for some fantastic defense. South Africa were looking very, very threatening, rolling through the phases, and the counter-racking there were two people that picked that up, and as the French kick it out into touch. It's a very strange kick.
They kick it out in touch behind where they kicked it.
They've gone backwards there.
So there we go. So this is pressure. This is what pressure does to you. This is what happens when men play against boys.
What are you saying?
So let's see what the Springboks can do here, because I think the Springboks have got this. They've got this. They've just got to keep their discipline. The French are setting up the ruck here inside their 22, 10 meters from their own line. Dupont, the only guy who can play rugby in the team, doesn't kick it out. Colby has it. He's running over the 10-meter line. He's got some support with him. He breaks through the first tackle, second tackle. He's into the 22, 20 meters from the far side touchline. Archie Snyman picks it up, goes through the hands. Kwagga Smith bumps one off. He's brought down inside the 22. Bongi Mbonambi takes it up now. Springboks in support. Faf de Klerk sniffing blood here. Peter Steph du Toit passes it out to Damien Dalende. And the ref says there was a forward knock there. This French team is nowhere. This French team is up there for the taking. The Springboks just need to keep things together now. Things are going to start happening for the Springboks now.
Substitution for the French. Dorian Aldiagieri is replacing Winnie Antonio.
Just a knock on here. It's Bongi Mbonambi. It looked like it went backwards.
Well, that was a chop tackle. That was a chop tackle. I don't accept that. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
It gets the knock on though. Referee did like what he saw. And if you're a French supporter, you're probably losing your mind. But a moment of brilliance here from Cheslin Colby. Just unfortunately unable to take the opportunity. But I will say, Otto, I will agree with you that South Africa are knocking on the door. But France doing well to keep South Africa out for now. Will they be able to keep South Africa out for the rest of this game? Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
They will not. No, they will not. There's 30 minutes left, 32 minutes left. It's 25 points to France, 19 to South Africa. There's no way that France will win this game. Mark my words.
They did win the last scrum, as we have another scrum here. They got the scrum penalty and got another 3 points. So at the current moment, they are on top of their scrum game. I mean, just they're on top of their scrum game. Otto, should I be taking ball by ball, or would you like to?
I'll do the next 10, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Now, you can see the look of concern on Dupont's face as he puts this. The scrum is set now. Dupont into the scrum, and the Springboks absolutely monstering this one, and it's a scrum penalty to the Springboks. So this is on the far side of the field, as the Springboks are playing left to right on our screens, about 15 meters in from the far side touchline.
The most casual response to an absolute monster scrum from the Springboks to Simon. He took his short ball right at that moment. That was huge by the Springboks. Big boys.
Yeah. So this is the beginning of the end, I think, for the French. So this will be a throw-in for the Springboks on the 5-meter line of the French on the far side of the field. It's tapped back into the hands of the Springboks, and somehow the French have managed to keep possession. And now we'll see Dupont, the only French player that matters, kicks this back into the ruck as he sets up another pot of forwards. And we'll see if the Springboks can get possession here. They're counter-rucking. They're putting a lot of pressure on Dupont here. And now they've abandoned the ruck. Dupont is trying to get this back into the last feet, and he kicks this over the far side touchline, and he doesn't get touch. And it's Kurtley Arendse. No, it's Jason Colby who comes forward now. He's got support. He's got the ball into the hands of Faf de Klerk, who pops it out through the legs of the referee into the hands of Andre Pollard, but they're still coming forward now. Willie Leroux over the top to Pieter-Steph Toy, who knocks somebody out cold, and then it's the Springboks over the 10-meter line of the French. They've got possession now. Faf de Klerk is there to the middle of the field. Through the back line they go now, through the forwards' hands. Oh, it's a knock on by Willie Leroux. It's a knock on by Willie Leroux in the middle of the park on the 10-meter line. That will give the French something to cheer about.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Also, we spoke about... it's my time to go out. I'll leave with this. We spoke about how the South African physical game is probably going to kick in now. But what's very important is that South Africa take their opportunities. There was a scrum penalty that we had, didn't take that opportunity. So we're going to have to see. Will South Africa be able to take the opportunities that they create? We'll see. I'll be here watching with you guys. Let's see.
That's exactly right. If that's where the game turns, then that will be, as we see a water boy running in front of Pieter-Steph de Toy. So
I want to highlight something.
Lots of questions here. Let's go.
The ball hit the referee's legs, went backwards, and then said, "Play on, mate." I'm not sure what referee Ben O'Keefe was thinking there. Surely there's got to be a hold up in players. Dwayne Vermeulen looks like he's coming back on to replace Pieter-Steph de Toy, who was injured in that last play. Bongi Manambi is stressing to the referee.
This is where
stressing to the referee to say that the water boy's gotten away there. It's not even close that he was out of that. So it looks like there'll be an HIA on Pieter-Steph de Toy.
Yes, then this is the way it's going to go. So you'll see now that the referee, also doesn't mind the ball going against his legs. So we'll see. But the only choice the Springboks have now is to be undeniable. It's to just storm over this French side and just get rid of them and do the job.
120.
Right. So
1 tackles made by the Springboks to the 63 of the French. Take us through the scrum and to the 70-minute mark.
right, so the Springboks have a scrum. They're defending a scrum. The French have a scrum on their own 10-meter line, almost in the middle of the park, just to the near side of the field. So let's see here. And Dupont with the put in under the 8th man's feet, and he takes the ball up almost to the halfway line. They go to the far side of the field with a kick up, and it's going to come down for Cheslin Colby almost. The French have possession on the 15-meter line on the far side of the field. They come to the middle of the park now with a rush defense of the Springboks tackling them once again behind the advantage line. They manage to scramble towards the 22 on the near side of the park. Dupont sends it to the middle of the park with the number 8 carrying it up. No contest there, says the referee, and it's behind the 10-meter line of the French now, coming back through the hands of their right wing. Dupont digging for the ball. He goes to the far side, and there's a big tackle on the French attackers by the South African backline players. Jesse Krilis over the ball. It gets called off by the referee just outside the 22 on the far side of the field now of the Springboks. Dion Fourie is in the mix there, but the referee says play on. To the middle of the park they go. No. It's a knock on there by the French. The referee has no choice but to give that. Everybody could see that. So that was 15 meters in from the near side touchline on the 22 of the Springboks. A knock on by the French.
Olivon dropping the ball there. It was an ankle tap by Faf de Klerk, dropping it in contact. And this is where the game is going to be decided, or to the fine margins. It was Willie Leroux who dropped it earlier in the encounter. Maybe an attempted block there by the French, but referee Ben O'Keefe not worried about it. And Olivon, the man who was guilty for the French. So a knock-on and a scrum for the Springboks to once again hopefully put pressure on the men in blue. As Frans Malherbe comes off the park and he's replaced by Vincent Koch.
63 minutes played, 25 points to the French, 19 points to South Africa. So it will be a converted try that will put South Africa into the lead. They are under the pump. They are on the back foot. They are on their own 22.
They finally have possession of the ball. I think that's going to be crucial. If you don't have possession, you're not able to fight your way back into this game.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what the referee does with this scrum.
Remember that France still have 4 members of their team on the bench. Makalu, Luku, Moefana, and Biorjari still waiting to get onto the park.
We'll see how long they wait, because this is their best team. So we'll see if they can last. They've been doing good so far for the French. Scrum collapses, and it's a free kick to the Springboks.
Yeah, Reda Vardy, the guilty man there, falling down under the pressure of Oxenchair. Not Oxenchair, my apologies, Vincent Koch.
Springboks calling immediately for another scrum. Yeah, and you can see from the overhead shots that the number 17, the loose head prop of the French, just immediately scrumming in onto the neck of the tight head prop and the hooker. So that's an immediate penalty. Also, his hands touching the ground, his knees are touching the ground. So good reward there for scrum dominance, finally, for South Africa. So let's see what happens with this next one, as the scrum is immediately reset by the Springboks immediately asking for the reset scrum. Bongi Monambi was the first one to call for that, because he can see what's going on there.
Well, he's the captain in the absence of Sia Kolisi.
Absolutely. So let's see if the French can get their stuff right. So they're going to crouch, bind, set the scrum now. Looking much better from the French here this time. And it's going to be another scrum penalty to South Africa as Faf de Klerk has possession at the back. He's going to flick it through his legs out to Jesse Kriel, who spots a gap through the midfield. He's got Pollard on his inside. Pops up to Damian Dalende, who pops it forward. Who's there? Who's there for the Springboks? It's going to be picked up by Dupont. Who else? 5 meters from their line. The French are in defense here. And it's a penalty to the Springboks. 6 meters from the French line for hanging on as Dupont was isolated. The Springboks swarmed all over that ball. Willie Leroux was there. Jesselyn Colby was there. I'll have to watch the replay to see who else was there. It was only Dupont for the French. Willie Leroux looking around. Willie Leroux, my friend, just take the 3. Just take the 3. Just take the 3 and get back. No, Bongi Manambi is going to go for the. Of course, he's going to go for the tap and go.
Can we not kick for
lovely
the
stuff?
As
can we not kick? Can we not kick the 3? Can we not kick the 3? Make it 20, 22, 25, and then come back and do it again. Bongi Manambi is going to go for the tap and go. He's going to go over the line by himself. Let's see. He's feeling very bullish. No, he's leaving it for RG Snyman, who taps and goes. Leaves it to Dwayne Vermeulen, who then gets it into the hands of Bongi Manambi, who goes for another one, and then it's the number 20 for South Africa. And then it's Kwagga Smith. And now there's a slow ruck here for South Africa. Dwayne Vermeulen sets up the maul, tries to set up the maul. Advantage to South Africa. Faf de Klerk into the hands of Eben Etzebeth, who goes over the line. That's a try to South Africa. To the right of the right hand upright. They've got the try. They're going to take the lead. It's 25 points to France. It's 24 points to South Africa with a kick to come. 66 minutes played. 67 minutes played. This is going to be how we get over the line here against... Yes, let's go.
Etzebeth, they were hammering away at the door of the French. It was Eben Etzebeth against Jalibert, and the Frenchman could only come second as this one is smashed over the uprights by Handré Pollard. You weren't going to defy 117 caps of Eben Etzebeth to score his 6th try in international rugby. The support from RG Snyman after he scored, showing just how much it means to the men in green and gold.
This is exactly what we've been talking about. When you make yourself undeniable, the referee has no say. Just go over the line and put the ball down, and the referee can't say anything. So let's go, the Springboks. The kick to come. Oh, the kick's already done. All right. 26 points to 25. 13 minutes left to play. 3 minutes left of my final play-by-play. So, the French kick it to the far side, just outside the 22 of South Africa. They try to tap it back. They do. Dupont on the Springboks 22 loses the ball backwards, cleaned up by one of his teammates, and now they're on the halfway line are the French, and they concede the penalty to the Springboks. It's Kwagga Smith. It's Kwagga Smith. Just going and going and going. It's just attack without the ball. It's nerve-wracking, but it's beautiful. All right,
yeah,
so
it was
12 minutes left.
It was some pressure by the Springboks on Dupont, who knocked it back, immediately told the referee that he knocked it back, just to, highlight the fact that he knocked it back and didn't knock it forward. But it was Kwagga Smith who immediately, like a clam, shut the door on any French continuation. Great bit of work there. Allez, le Kwagga. As Dupont looks like he's
Come
going
on,
to
yo.
way off the field.
Come on, Boca. Yeah, Dupont is not looking happy. So it will be a penalty kick now from Mani Libok. And
From
no,
Pollard.
it's Van Pollard. Okay, so he's inside his own half. Straight in front, and he slots it through the middle. Flags are up, and that is 29 points to 25. So it's a 4-point game. There's 11 minutes left in the game, and that is how you win a quarterfinal. The Springboks have 11 minutes left. They are 4 points ahead. The French kick off to the far side of the field. Inside the 22, Vermeulen takes it up. Swamped by the French, but the Springboks managed to keep possession. And Faf de Klerk will set the caterpillar and try to kick it out as far as he can with the left boot. Let's see what he does here. Indeed. Is he going to kick it out? Or no, he just kicks it downfield. Inside the French half. Ramos tries to run it up, but he's taken down inside the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Passes it infield, does Dupont. And a good shot down there by the Springboks. Counter ruck coming in. Springboks all on side. And here we go. Behind the advantage line, the French are trapped. They try to make it over the 10-meter line, and they cannot do so. They're 6 meters from the near side touchline, just outside the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Once again, tackled by the Springboks inside the advantage line. Kick over the top now, coming through. Very nicely gathered by Jalibert. Dwayne Vermeulen is there. The French have possession. Faf de Klerk and the loose head prop fighting for possession. Advantage to France, says the referee. They're going to come to the near side of the park now with a cross kick, and it's going to be gathered by Kurtley Arendse. And I'll hand over to you. To your capable hands for the last 10 minutes for the play-by-play.
This is where
the green-colored glasses. I apologize, but I don't apologize. So hashtag sorry, not sorry. You take us. You take us through the last 10 minutes.
Taking on the replacement forward Wadi, who was sealed off there, but it was offside. The call from the referee. Great tackle there, desperation tackle after that little chip over the top by Ramos. It was Jesse Creel chasing down the man there after a slip tackle on Handré Pollard. But it is going to be crucial that the Springboks retain possession for as much time as they can in the final 10 minutes here. The French will have an opportunity to go hard at this South African try line. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, please like and subscribe, because if the Springboks continue in this World Cup, we will definitely be bringing you this game. Nevertheless, we ask that you consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/OneWorldSR. It's a penalty straight in front. 1 point in it if he slots it. 25 to 29. And he does exactly that. Ramos with the flags up by the assistant referees. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 1-point game. This is where Ireland fell short. This is where Fiji fell short. 8 minutes left in the game, and it's 1 point separating these two sides. A change for the French as Maxime Lucu comes off the bench.
Do you feel a drop goal coming? Is it just me? Are we in drop goal territory now, David?
I truly hope that
we better be,
because I'm too stressful. It's too stressful for that. Kickoff now. Collected in the middle of the park by Ramos. Brought down by Villy Leroux. He's got to get out of the way. He does indeed. The caterpillar sets up nicely now as Dupont tries to meander the ball through the feet of his men. South Africa setting up defensive lines. He's looking like he's going to go off the right boot. He does. Gives himself some space before thumping this away downfield. Is it an option for the South Africans to take it quickly? They won't. 73 minutes approaching. 1 point in this game. This is also where South Africa lost it against the Irish in their pool game. A narrow encounter, a small error. Bonge Manambi with the ball in hand. 6 men in the
Get the
line
lineup ball.
on the outside. And that's exactly what they've done. RG Sneeman into the maul, not really going anywhere, and the French resorting to some desperation tactics as South Africa rumble forward. Momentum for the men in green and gold. Koch dropping slightly, but able to regain his feet. And the referee surely got to say that the French have collapsed this one. Not, it will be a ruck. Cheslin Colby at the back. Kick up over the top, maybe attempting a drop goal. I'm not quite sure what the referee will say about that one. I'm not quite sure what Cheslin Colby was saying. It'll be a goal line dropout. Perhaps T looking to try and sneak those 3 points there. You called it.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
Able to get it. Not able to get it. Ramos will be kicking this one away. It's a 22 dropout rather than a goal line dropout. The French trying to get going with Bongi and Manambi still on the ground. Referee says, just hang on, fellas. Let's just make sure the man who's on the ground in the middle of the park is actually in good condition. This is not good for the Springboks. Remember, there's no alternative to the spare hooker.
Yeah, we can bring somebody else in. We hope he's okay. He's probably just tired of getting worked over by the referee.
On top of him that put pressure as he looks desperately into the eyes of the referee. Bit of a sneaky tactic there by the Springboks to try and drop kick it from the back of the ruck. Everybody on their feet on the bench.
Yeah, not quite going into the boot. You normally expect Cheslin Colby to set up maybe like a box kick. Everyone knows what's coming. Give Andre Pollard the space right in front of the posts. Kicking distance here as well. But Cheslin Colby just showing his fly half skills from his time in Toulouse.
Going to go off.
Oh, yes. Please.
Yeah, Peter Steph du Toit coming back onto the field. So I don't imagine he'll hook, which means Dion Fourie will go into the hooking position as this one goes straight out. And South Africa will have Dion Fourie at the center of the scrum. Thomas Ramos thumping that out straight out. And so South Africa have an opportunity now to put pressure once again on the French. He's a small shake of the head. It'll be a scrum to the South Africans. So Archie really geeing up his men here. He knows how important this one's going to be.
Pressure.
Right in front
That's
of the
what pressure does.
Drop goal. Drop goal T. Drop goal T. Come on. If there
it's
ever
drop
was
goal
an opportunity.
Central, baby. It's drop goal central. Or, I mean, get a penalty try. We'll probably see that, and then you don't have to do that. If it doesn't happen, send it to Andre Pollard in the pockets. Boom, baby.
Yep.
3 more points.
Good to see Peter Steph available to actually come back on the park. He wasn't doing well and went off. So Dwayne Vermeulen and Peter Steph are your flankers.
Yeah,
5 minutes. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left.
The cameraman is thinking what we're thinking as well. Andre Pollard literally behind the scrum. There's someone there protecting him. It feels inevitable. Maybe they're setting us up.
That is the call from the referee. Feed coming now. Static scrum. Springboks not yet shoving. And now the second shove comes. De Klerk out the back. He goes to Dialende. Brought down by 2 men, but support from Andre Pollard. Cheslin Colby at the back of the scrum once again. A ruck rather. To go to Peter Steph du Toit. Support from RG Sneeman and Dwayne Vermeulen. Faf de Klerk. Again looking for a forward to take it up. It's Damian Dalende who has the ball. Then Koch is the option for the Springboks. Shoved a little bit back. And now Faf de Klerk looking to go to the far side of the park. He goes to Etzebeth with Peter Steph in support. Take out tackle there by the French. They've got to be careful that they don't so close to the try line. Oxen Chair, 7 meters out. Dion Fourie with support from Eben Etzebeth, dragging him forward, trying to strip the ball away are the French. Faf de Klerk in a bit of traffic and hits a Frenchman. It comes out safely in the end. And the referee's given it to France. He said that that's a knock-on by the French. I'm surprised that he's done that because it's come off of a French player. Surely there's got to be a conversation here with Eben Etzebeth and the referee because Faf de Klerk's thrown that intentionally, albeit into the body of a Frenchman, and then Dwayne Vermeulen's knocked it on. The French will have a scrum 8 meters out from their try line.
Was the French player not offside, literally because he was on the side of of South
That's why Dion
Africa.
Fourie is having a word with him to say, ref,
How does
I think.
do I not know the
Yeah.
rules? Is it me? I think it's me. He was.
That's
I don't think
usually
No, I don't think
that's
it's you.
usually
Yes.
what you do when you have a player offside. You just throw the ball into them, and then you get the penalty. So
Surely-
maybe
surely
the
Then obviously
referee.
offside.
Still
If Faf
confusing.
de Klerk
Yeah.
passed it forward, then he's not offside. But he passed it backwards, and now he is
Yeah.
offside. Okay, so
Shelly
it's a
Bear.
penalty, scrum penalty to
Scrum
for
penalty
the
because of the
knock-on.
knock-on from Dwayne
Yes.
Vermeulen. Right.
Go ahead,
Dupont decides he doesn't want to feed it, and the French will get a penalty as well. Another scrum penalty.
Oh, for pushing too early.
Yeah, a little bit of an early engagement, as Ben O'Keefe saying, "Let's keep it steady, gents." I'm still baffled by that call. The man is offside. Surely. I think
that's
Ben
what I'm
O'Keefe's
saying.
got that one wrong.
But what I will say is, if the Springboks were behind at this time, it would be a lot more frustrating. But Springboks still 1 point ahead. They're on the
We
French
need the ball. We
try
need the
line.
ball.
We do need the ball, but we do also have time on our side. Or maybe they're running down the clock. So that's basketball.
Fabien Galtier looking menacing, looking focused as the scrum again goes up, and the French are gonna get the penalty once again. And perhaps it's the wheeling French scrum that's putting the South Africans under pressure, as Dion Fourie and the rest of the forwards are having a word with referee Ben O'Keefe, just to say, gents, I've given you the opportunity to rectify it, and now you've got to rectify it. Now you can see with Rassie Erasmus standing up and screaming down the mic who the real boss man is.
The director of rugby, bro, coming in,
Directing rugby.
directing rugby here. And maybe even there's a bomb squad for the coaches, Jacques just sorts out the group stages. And then when it comes to the knockouts, Rassie comes in just to keep the energy up. But he's ever present whenever there's rugby going on and there's a Springbok on someone's jersey. As we see yet another scrum here, David.
2 minutes on the clock. 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, stressful times this, as South Africa would want to turn the ball over. As long as France have possession, there's an opportunity to change their fortunes. Feed now by Dupont. Comes out the back, through the legs of Makalu. Out wide to Ficou. In the hands of the number 11, Biarré. It goes wide. They come back inside. Ficou runs over Villiers. Brave tackle there by South Africa's replacement fullback. Makalu again in the contact. South Africa get it through the hands of Vincent Koch. Now they've got to look to run the clock down as Kwagga Smith is held up just over the 10-meter line. 90 seconds left in the game. 1 point between the Springboks. Faf de Klerk looking for an option. He goes to Eben Etzebeth over the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Faf de Klerk having to fight off some French encroachers to Vincent Koch, who's immediately stormed by Makalu, putting pressure on the Frenchman. Are the Frenchmen looking for Oxenchair? Or will he go to the box kick? Why? We have possession. There's a minute left in the game. He's thumped that high in the air. Will South Africa collect it? Oh, bit of a karate kick there from Cheslin Colby, as this is in the hands of Penaud. Why are the South Africans kicking away penalties? Why are they kicking away possession? Dupont into the hands of the Frenchman, Taufi Fanua. Ficou out wide. Makalu with ball in hand. He's dangerous out wide. The spare loose forward. Dupont on halfway. France through Ramos. Smashed in contact are the French. Wadi brought down inside the 10-meter line. Trying to hang on a little bit longer to Woki. Fifth phase now by the French. 7 seconds left in the game. Out to Ficou. A running on Penaud. He's brought down on the 10-meter line. Cheslin Colby is immediately making himself a nuisance. Dupont runs away with Ramos now. getting possession. This is stressful for Springbok fans. The time is up. Fiku wants the ball at the back of the ruck. Now he goes to Wadi, trying to find a way. The Springboks throwing men in at the breakdown. Peter Steph du Toit trying to steal it away. He's not able to get the ball away from the French. Dupont looking for an option. He's going to go to his spare forward, to Taufi Fanua. Again, a minute into the extra time, or the time after the hooter. French still in possession. No forward momentum. Wardy on the 10-meter line. South Africa being driven back. It's popped out on the side of the Springboks. Kicked out by Kurt Lawrenson. The Springboks have won. Have they won it? Yes. Celebration by the men in green and gold. 1 point game. And it was stolen through a loose ball at ruck and tackle time. And the home team are out. Springbok drive at Rugby World Cup continues. I have no fingernails left and my nerves are short. Gentlemen, Tsapotayala, start us off.
Goodness gracious. David, I'm not going to lie. I'm so glad you're speaking for the last time because boy, oh boy, did we have our bums half on the seat, off the seat, edge of the seat, a 1 point game, perfect quarterfinal here. The home team literally brought it all from the beginning, and it's going to take a lot to stop the Springboks pack. And yes, it's a 1 point game. It was a tight one. Oh, but we came through in the end. What a relief. Woo!
Taking bites out of our seats. That's test match rugby right there, ladies and gentlemen. That was wonderful. Tsepo, David, you were wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. This was awesome. We actually did it. I can't believe it.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Like it's inevitable. Oh yeah, they're gonna beat France. Win against boys, and now you're relieved. Okay.
Yeah. Stressful stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we bring you semi-final time for the Springboks. They continue to dream. They continue to march on in search of lifting the Webb Ellis Trophy. It was a tremendous performance by the South African bench, and all credit to the home side for their tenacity, their pugnaciousness. But in the end, they are knocked out in the quarterfinal. Please, if you can, like and subscribe. Support us on patreon.com, OneWorldSR, patreon.com/OneWorldSR. Subscribe, please subscribe so that you can join us as we bring you the semi-final of the Rugby World Cup. It has been an absolute privilege. We will be with you again. Make no mistake, we are not letting this World Cup go without the Springboks giving it their all. It will be a South Africa-England semi-final on the 21st of October, 9 o'clock kickoff. It will be a repeat of Yokohama in 2019. God Save the King versus Nkosi Sikelele Africa. We hope that you are rested ahead of tomorrow's workday. Thank you so much for joining us. From all of us at One World Sports Radio, please, again, like and subscribe, and we will see you next week, Saturday, for England versus South Africa. My name is David Midgley. Tsepo Teala was my partner, as was Otu Ozmaster Simon. Join us next week, and don't forget, crash ball during the week.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Final thoughts, Tsepo.
Oh, my final thoughts are, guys, thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure being here. Thanks to all the people in the comments. Endless spokesperson, Nick, Simone, we see you. Linux Leia, congratulations on German cricket commentary. Shout out Linda for all the Go Boca throughout the whole stream. Zanele, yes, this was a good game. Thank you. Thank you, Springboks. We love you.
We love you. Bye.